Yo, what up, big cats? My Escape 20 here, and today, guys, what I have for you here today is the skill point guide for Borderlands pre-sequel, and we're going to be looking at none other than Nisha the Lawbringer. And Nisha the Lawbringer reminds me a lot of the Gunzerker in certain aspects, but will never be as strong as Salvador himself. And the reason why I say that is due to recent, well, not really recent anymore, but due to nerfs from the weapons that she thrives on, as well as her stacking capabilities, really hinders Nisha to excel to the point that Salvador the Gunzerker did in Borderlands 2. And I'll go ahead and I'll find those patch notes for you guys, but just on the top of my head, the Maggie no longer can stack with some of your abilities the way it should, way it did in the very beginning of the game. And some of her abilities really kind of relied on that, as in the first tree that we're going to look at. So, that's just the biggest problem. When I played Nisha the first time before the nerfs, Nisha was the strongest character I've ever played. And I didn't really play much of the Gunzerker in Borderlands 2. I knew it was overpowered and broken. That's why I didn't really want to play him. And she was just so broken. But once she got the nerfs and everything like that, I just never found her to be the powerhouse that I thought she could be. So, we could go ahead and move on from that, but those are just some things I thought I'd let you know. We're going to be looking at two different builds today, guys. It's going to be the dual pistol build, which is going to focus on the fan of the hammer as well as the rifle woman. And then we're going to be looking at a survive and thrive kind of build, where we're going to be focusing on our law and order, stacking up thing, as well as combat duration. So the longer we're in there and the less and the more stacks and the less health and blah blah blah, the stronger we're actually going to be. So let's go ahead and look at the first build, which is the dual pistol. So first thing you're going to want to do is get Ruthless 5 out of 5. And what this is doing is kills made during Showdown extends the duration. So what is Showdown? Showdown is your action skill, and basically it does everything. It automatically aims, increases gun damage, fire rate, reload speed, accuracy, and bullet speed. Sniper rifles and rocket launchers do not receive the damage bonus, because that would be really OP. You just pop Showdown, then you just freaking pop, I don't know, the Nuke Dukem or something like that. So, but as you can see all the stats right there, and for 6 seconds, you get all of that, 42% gun damage, blah, blah, blah. We're increasing 0.5 per kill, which is nice. Next thing you're going to want to do is come over here to Bottled Courage. The reason why I say do that before that is in Showdown begins, a portion of your shield instantly restored, as well as you're not in Showdown, then you have all these shield recharge rate and delay. It just kind of makes you survive a little bit longer in the early game and stuff like that before you get your main skills. Next, what you're going to come do is do Short Fused 1 of 1, and this is a kill skill. After killing an enemy, all of your shots deal explosive damage. So all of them, which is very, very nice. Closer to the enemy, the higher the damage. So this is based off your actual weapon damage. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. Also, next thing what you're going to want to do is come back up here to Saddle Up 5 out of 5. Now, we don't even want to touch Gunslinger. We don't want to touch Pickpocket, and we don't want to touch Faster Than You. These aren't really what we're wanting to do in this build. It doesn't really matter to us, so we're not going to worry about it. We'd rather have the movement speed and gun damage. After that, you're going to come over here to High Noon, and you're going to do 5 out of 5, and you gain a bonus to gun damage the longer you're in Showdown. So this increases the duration, and so for each kill, increases the duration, and so basically you're going to be killing, and just keep snowballing your effect to basically where you're, as long as there's enemies on the map, you're in Showdown. So super strong. That's 15% per second, so that's really nice. So next, after that, you're going to do, at level 25, you'll officially reach both, you get both pistols. And at this point in the game, when I reached this, I was at RK5. If you guys remember who that is a, that was the flying boss in the air, right? I think it was the second to last boss, but, I think it was boss fight number 9 or 8 or something like that. But But yeah, so at that point that is when, I got it. And you can also get out of the dual pistol. You just aim down sight and it gets rid of it. So that's pretty nice too, just in case. After that, we're going to be focusing on our hip fire. Because we have 2 pistols, we're going to be wanting to shoot from the hip if we're using 2 pistols. So that is what we're going to be focusing on next. So next we're going to come up here and go to Snapshot, 5 out of 5. And while firing from the hip, you gain dramatically increased accuracy and recoil reduction. This is huge. This is the biggest skill for you. Like, once you hit this, you are super strong. Because it's not a kill skill. It's just flat bonuses, and that is very strong to do because, like we said, we're going to be firing from the hip a lot. After that, we're going to come down here to quick shot, 5 out of 5, and what you're going to do is same thing. When shooting from the hip, you get gun damage and fire rate, which is very nice. After reloading, of course. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And so next, you're going to come down here and do Fistful of Bullets. So this just increases your magazine size by your pistols by 3, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but the types of pistols we're going to be using, it really is a lot. We're not going to be using, well, I'll talk about that in a little bit. I know I keep saying that, but jumping ahead of myself. Next, we're going to come here to Hot Lead, and your critical hits with non-elemental guns deal additional fire damage with high chance of igniting enemies. So yeah. So after that, you're going to come down here to Tombstone and do that 5 out of 5 kill skill. After killing an enemy, all hits have a chance to count as critical hits. So let me put this in perspective for you. After killing one enemy, which is easy to do, all hits have a chance to count as critical hits. 30% chance. Will your critical hits with non-elemental guns deal fire damage? So basically, after killing an enemy, you have 30% chance extra to be dealing non-stop fire damage to somebody. And it's burn damage, it's DPS and everything. It will melt everybody, I promise you. This is the sickest combo. This is the sickest combo in the whole tree. This right here, I'll tell you what, I can't tell you how many times I've melted people with this combo. It's very, very good. So once you do that, you're going to do the Unforgiving. During Showdown, all shots that hit enemies ricochet towards other nearby enemies, dealing 10% of weapon damage. Also, Showdown ending triggers an explosive nova on all enemies who have been shot by you. So basically, when you start Showdown, you want to at least kind of spray everything real quick and then start focusing down. Because even if you don't kill this stuff, once it's done, it'll explode and kill them all. So, like I said, you kind of want to... what I would do is I would kill somebody real quick and then start spraying everybody so you can get the critical hits on everybody, and then at the end of it, it'll explode everybody. So it's really, really nice, and that's a great strategy to use. So we had 3 more points left, and what you're going to want to do is after doing the Unforgiven, you're going to come up here to Magnificent 6. Now, you can either do that 3 of 5, or you can do this 3 of 5. Now, here's the difference. On the Nisha that I used, when you're using, non-elemental weapon, this thing thrives on non-elemental weapons. So there are plenty out there. There was the Maggie, there's the Skull Smasher, there was, I cannot think of the shotgun at the top of my head. But basically Jacob's weapons, and Jacob's weapons are notorious for having a low ammo clip, high damage. And why is this important? Well, we're increasing our magazine size by 3 already. Well, high damage, everything is based off of our weapon damage. So weapon damage, let's see, there's a couple other ones. Okay, wow, that made me look stupid. There's a bunch of that increase based on your weapon damage, and yeah, so basically, like, the Jacob's weapons on Nisha are perfect. They literally go hand in hand with her, and it is amazing. So I prefer this. Now, if you use these Celestial class mod, I actually did this because there is 5 out of 5 in this. So you basically get 6 out of 5 and then 12% extra damage with the last 6 bullets of non-elemental weapon clips. So, But if you want to use that class mod, then just do 3 out of 5. And this is non-elemental right here, and this is non-elemental as well, and pretty much everything just kind of synergizes off of that. So it's very nice. And so yeah, so what are the pros and cons of this? The pros and cons, well, the pros are you are super powerful. Before the nerf, you're still pretty powerful, but before the nerf, you could literally one-shot everything. You could finish boss fights in, I'm not gonna lie, it was literally about 4 seconds. Like, you could pop Showdown, in about 4 seconds, you defeated, like, the final boss, or the Invincible. It was pretty broken, and I'm semi-glad that they fixed it, they nerfed it, but I think they maybe nerfed it a little bit too hard. But what is the cons for this? Well, the cons is you are a glass cannon. If you go this way, you have no health regeneration. You don't have anything besides this to increase your shields. You're not rocking any health regen anywhere. So, like I said, you're a glass cannon. So you better start killing stuff to increase your duration and everything, or you're gonna die. That's basically how it is. So if you're not killing something, you're gonna die. Those are the pros and cons with that. So next, what we're going to do is look at the survive and thrive. And what this focuses on more is, to me, weapon-wise, is shotguns and SMGs. And why is it doing this? Well, basically, the longer you're in fights, the better. Now, SMGs, you can, go in close and everything like that, and you have bigger magazine size, but not too big, as in like the assault rifles that will slow you down. It's just all around a great kind of combination. So what we're going to do here is look at the Law and Order tree. We're going to go order 1 of 1, and every time you take 15% of your maximum health, you gain a stack of order. Based on the number of order stacks, you have a chance to instantly heal double the damage taken. Order stacks are quickly lost when outside of combat. So, right here, it straight up tells us that we want to be in combat all the time. These are, just like the other ones, are pretty much useless if you're not in combat. So, that's pretty nice. After this, we have no other choice than to go Law, which is 4/4. So we have Law and Order right here, which is nice. So increase your shield capacity and melee damage. The melee damage, whatever. Shield capacity is nice. Next, what we're going to come over here and do is Rough Rider 1 of 1, and it's a slam augment. Your slam attacks damage increased by 25%, dealing damage with slam grants you 2 order stacks per enemy damage. This skill also raises your order stack cap by 5. Now, this is the most important part. Yeah, slamming down can get you a lot of stacks quickly, which is super nice, but it's the order stack increase that we're really focused on here. So now, from going the maximum stacks to 10, then we now can go up to 15. So next, you're going to come over here and do Wanted. And we're going to do this, let's see, Wanted, we're going to do this 4 out of 5. And when, basically when an enemy would cause you to gain an order stack, he gains a wanted stack. Damaging that target consumes all wanted stacks and deals bonus damage based on the number of stacks consumed and your level. The maximum number of wanted stacks is 5, and enemies are still gain wanted stacks even if you are at maximum order. So you're gaining order and wanted at the same time. Even when you're maxed out at order, you're not maxed out at wanted, which is very, very nice. So after you do that, you're going to come over here to Discipline 1 of 1, and this is basically, once receiving 10 order stacks, your shield are restored to full, blah, blah, blah. You gain improved melee damage, gun damage, and shield recovery delay. Also increase your order stack by 5, which is the most important part here. The gun damage is very nice, but right now we're at 20, so 10 plus 5 plus 5 is 20. And these are like percentage per stack, so we rely on having the most maximum amount of stacks as possible, basically. So after that, we're going to come over here and do is Blood of the Guilty, and you're going to do that 1 of 1, and that when you or an ally kills an enemy, and that's the most important part, when you or an ally, you gain a stack of order. You have 5% chance of your health restored, and this also increases your stack by 5. So we're at 25 right now, which is very nice. Yeah, that's very, very nice. And yeah, so that's, like I said. So next, what we're going to come down here and do is jurisdiction 4 out of 5. And the reason we're not going to touch this is because we're not really worried about meleeing in this tree. There is a melee build for Nisha, actually, and it's hilarious because you have a whip. So you're just running around whipping everything, and I don't know, it's pretty funny, but it's not really practical, I don't think. So we're going to come here and do jurisdiction 4 to 5, and during Showdown, you regenerate health and gain bonus movement speed, which is nice. After you're doing that, we're only doing that 4 to 5 because we want to put 5 to 5 in no pain, no gain. And I really feel like this is such a strong ability because gain increased gun damage with all gun types based on how low your health currently is. The lower your health, the greater damage. So you can get up to 50% bonus gun damage, and that's not even including all your order stacks and your wanted stacks and all that. So this is really nice too. It's a kill skill. Killing an enemy grants you bonus realist boot and gun damage based on the number of order stacks you currently have. So this is very nice. So say you did 5 out of 5, you have 2% per stack. And so coming down here, we have an extra 5. I'm just going to skip ahead real quick. We have 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 5 is 20, plus is 30. So we have additional 60% gun damage, basically, just by getting, if we're max stacked and killing somebody. So the problem with this is I feel like it takes too long to scale up. That is the only problem I have. So this is nice because you can quickly get a kill and stuff, and you know, just like this, when you gain stack of orders, you can quickly get that up if you're getting low on health and stuff, as well as consume for law and everything like that. But I just feel like it takes too long to scale up. So that's why we're not going to do it, because it's only 0.4 per stack right off the bat. And, you know, you have to put skill points into it just to make it useful. And that's why I don't recommend it. But it is still a nice thing. I just feel like it scales too poorly. So once we do no pain, no gain, 5 out of 5, we're going to come out here to Thunder Crackdown. Now, this one is sick. Melee override. Your melee attack causes a large cone-shaped shock burst, dealing increased damage for each order stack. And this skill also increases your order stack cap by 5. Now, notice this doesn't say it consumes your order stack. So it's not like you're at 30 stacks and you melee and all your stacks are gone, but you just do a massive amount of melee damage. When you think about this, if you're at 30, I don't even know what 30 times 25 is. I really don't know. Let's see. Do we have a calculator somewhere? 30 times 25. I can't really do that. My head right now, no sleep last night. Say 30 times 25. So you're doing 750 damage. But yeah, per second as a shock damage, just as melee. And we're not even increasing our melee damage and stuff like that. That is hilarious. So the melee build on Nisha actually could happen. I just think it's really troll. But as you can see right there, it increases your order stack, which is nice, but it doesn't actually. I'm gonna have to go ahead and play around with this skill tree a little more. This looks like OP as shit, but it doesn't really take away anything. I mean, you're just doing so much damage every time it's up. If you have that, it's a cone shape, so it's like an AoE. So there's no reason not to use that. It's very nice. So yeah, so at level 25, that's when you're gonna get that. So next we're gonna come over here to, and I had a tough time figuring out what I wanted to do. But I chose not to go on this skill tree because we're not making this a dual pistol. We're gonna make this more of a shotgun and SMG. So we're gonna come over here to Snapshot. When firing from the hip, you gain dramatically increased accuracy and recoil reduction. We talked about that. You can also do Bandita Vibe Grit, and I thought about doing this instead as one of the skills instead of like one of these down here. But the problem with this is we already have so much health regen. Well, we have health regen here, and we have, you know, health regen from our order stacks as well as our law. We're already pretty bulky, so you can make yourself a little bit more bulky. But I figured making yourself at least do some, you know, more damage, like in combat, will help us out more, I think. So next we're going to come down here to quick shot, 5 out of 5. And you can do Unchained if you want, but I just feel like, once again, just like this, it just takes too long to scale up. So I don't really want to talk about that. If you want to look exactly what that does, you can read it real quick, but I'm not really going to go into it, just because, like I said, it just takes, I just feel like it takes too long to stack up. And I know each time you shoot an enemy, you get a, fire rate now, but you only get one Unchained stack per second, and that's 21 seconds in combat. Now, sometimes you're not going to be in combat for 21 seconds. I know that doesn't sound like long, but it is a long time. It really is. So, I mean, you got to think the duration here is 6 seconds, and it feels like it goes by super quick. So, it's really not a long time. So yeah, I just don't like doing that. Next, we're gonna do Fistful of Bullets, and we're gonna increase our magazine size with all gun types by 3. Now, this is not really useful if you're using SMG primarily. If you're gonna do that, I would maybe go ahead and find out what exactly the class mod for this tree, I don't really know, that actually like works around with this, and maybe put a skill point in that instead. But if you don't know, and if you don't have that, then I would put it in Fistful of Bullets, and you can always come back and refund it later at a personalization, whatever, chaining station, whatever they're called. So yeah, so once you do that, you're gonna come over here to Hot Lead, 5 out of 5. We already talked about that. Non-elemental, deal fire damage, which is really nice. So right now we have electric and fire, which is super nice. Then you can come down to Tombstone, which I talked about. This combination right here is so deadly, I just don't see myself not using it. Ricochet Trick Shot, bounce off of walls and other objects and stuff. I don't like it because if it was ricochet bullet damage plus 20%, I would use this like in a friggin' heartbeat. But it's minus 20%, so I don't really care about it as much, basically. And sometimes you're not always near a wall, sometimes you're out in a field or something, so, or on the moon, lols. So it doesn't always help, if that makes sense. So that's why I don't really care for it too much. After doing that, we're going to talk about, we're going to go to the Unforgiving, and we've already talked about that, explosives. So right now we have 3 different types of elementals: fire, explosive, and electric, or shock, excuse me. So yeah, so after doing that, this is where I say this is your choice. Now, you can either come up here, which I did, and do crack shot 3 of 5, which the first shot fired from a fully loaded magazine causes bonus damage. If you kill an enemy with this shot, they explode, dealing damage to nearby enemies. I did that because I like the additional gun damage as well as the AoE explosive and stuff like that. But you can also come over here and do 3 of 5 in this if you want to become a little bit more tanky. So that is where I feel as in you can make up where you want, where your priorities are. So if you really want to be bulky and just never freaking die, don't worry about this. It's nice, but it's not a big deal. This is very nice, because you're going to be getting, the thing about this is you're going to be doing critical damage and stuff like that, like extra critical chance, and now you're going to be increasing the actual damage you do. So as well as you regenerate your percentage of max health per second. So this is a fantastic ability, do not get me wrong. But me personally, I just went up over here because I'm already regenerating 3.2. If we did this, it's 1.2 of your max. So we do 1.2 of our max for 3, and 3.2 for 4. So say if we matched it, it's only 1.6. That's half. You see what I'm saying? So I guess it's more focused on the critical hit damage, but if you're going to do the critical hit damage, you might as well just increase the actual gun damage so your critical hits hit more anyway. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I figured this is a lot better than that. So yeah, that is the 2 skill trees. I guess I can go over the pros and cons. The pros of this is you're super bulky. If you are in an extended fight, as like, boss fight or anything, it doesn't even, a lot of these aren't even kill skill, as you can see right here. They're just, as you're playing, you are so strong. This is my favorite for like invincibles and stuff like that, because you are so strong. It says when you and your ally, you gain order. It's just, it's super strong. when it comes to that aspect. The cons to this is this relies on hip firing. It doesn't rely on it. Let me rephrase that. But it works well with it. So if you're going to be aiming down sights a lot, you're hindering these two skill trees, these two skill points. So you're wasting 10 of them, which you could be using somewhere else. So basically, in order to do that, we'd have to put them right here or some other, different. Within these 4, we have to put them in somehow, if that makes sense. So, like I said, this stacks it takes too long, and this is okay. It's not really, it's good, but I don't know. It's good on the other skill trees. I don't think it's good on this one. So, the cons is if you're not in combat, you're not, like, you don't have any, like, kill skill, like, right off the bat. Like, you maybe have this one, but other than that, you know, if you look, you really don't. So it's not like you can, in the other one, you get one kill and then bam, 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 you're instantly doing all this damage. This is like extended fights. So if you're not fighting extended fights, this one can really hurt you. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this one was a little bit longer than normal, but I really, really wanted to get my opinion out here on Nisha. Nisha is one of my favorite characters in Borderlands 3 sequel, but like I said, since the actual nerf, I feel like she deserves a little bit more justice. Get it? Alright, anyway. Thanks guys for watching, and I hope you guys stick around for the other guides. Hey guys, thanks for watching. So previous video was the Wilhelm skill point guide, and if you're not sure how to build this awesome cyborg, make sure you check out that video. And featured video is the Athena skill point guide, the gladiator that never returned from Mars. Even though that was never part of the storyline. So, yeah, that's her. And if you don't know how to build her the elemental way or the melee build, make sure you check that one out as well. So, anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more videos just like this one, please leave a thumbs up. Also, best way to contact me always is at Twitter at MyHeroEscape20. And if you want to see me play this game live, go to twitch.tv/MyHeroEscape20. So thanks guys for watching. Links are in the description below, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, peace!